tasim leolam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha tasim leolam. B'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol leil ubechol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha tasim leolam. B'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol leil ubechol shah.
Welcome. I have a helper today. I didn't know I was going to have one, but two helpers. Sorry, Donovan. Okay, Karina and Donovan. We'll begin on page 5 with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem, Boachem. in our prayer book to page 11. Lechuneranena ladonai naria letzur ishenu. Here we go. Okay. Lechuneranena, lechuneranena, lechuneranena ladonai. Lechuneranena, lechuneranena, lechuneranena ladonai. Naria, naria, letzur ishenu, nikatapana betoda. Naria, naria, letzur ishenu, bismiro naria lo. Lechuneranena, lechuneranena, lechuneranena ladonai. Lechuneranena, lechuneranena, lechuneranena ladonai. Lechuneranena, lechuneranena, lechuneranena ladonai. Lechuneranena, lechuneranena, lechuneranena ladonai. Arbaim shana kubedoro maram toelevavhem vehem lo yadu derachai asher nishpati v'api im yabon el menuchati.
Page 13.
Page 13. Shiru ladonai, shiru ladonai.
Shiru shir hadash.
Shiru shir hadash.
Shiru ladonai kol haaretz.
Shiru ladonai kol haaretz.
Shiru ladonai
barechu
shemo.
basuni omeot Yeshuato.
Shiru ladonai
Barechu
shemo.
Shiru ladonai.
Shiru ladonai.
Shiru ladonai.
Shiru shir hadash.
Shiru shir hadash.
Shiru ladonai kol haaretz.
Shiru ladonai kol haaretz. On page 14, let the heavens rejoice and let the earth and all it contains roar in praise. You guys are good. Donovan's good at roaring, right? Okay, all right, here we go.
Yismehu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismehu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismehu hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz.
Yismehu
Hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismehu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismehu hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz.
Yiram hayam,
Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam. Yismehu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismehu hashamayim, hashamayim. Yismehu hashamayim. V'tagel
beautiful. We continue on page On page 16, Or Zaru Ala Tzadik U Yisrei Lev Simcha. Or Zaru Ala. Or Zaru Ala.
La 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 Tzadik.
Or Zaru Ala.
La 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 Tzadik.
U
Yisrei Simcha.
U Yisrei
Simcha.
U Yisrei
Hot, hot, hot.
Or
Zaru la 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 Tzadik.
Or Zaru Ala.
La 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 Tzadik.
U Yisrei
Simcha.
U Yisrei
Simcha.
Continue with the end of Psalm 99. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtakavu, the Harkot show.
Page 20.
Romamu
Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtakavu lehar kadosh. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtakavu lehar kadosh.
Ki
Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu.
Ki
Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtakavu lehar kadosh. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtakavu lehar kadosh. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romamu.
We're on page 21, Psalm 29. Mizmor leDavid, Avul Adonai b'nei Elim, Avul Adonai kavod ba'oz, Avul Adonai kevod shemo, Yishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod irim, Adonai hamayim, hamayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shomer amazim, Vaishaber Adonai et azei havanon, Vayarkidem kemo egel Levanon v'Sirion kemo vein re'emim, Kol Adonai chotzev lavodesh, Kol Adonai achil midbar yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai echolel hayalot, vayechesov ye'aron, uveheikalo kulo mekavod, kulo Shava, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Leolam, Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitein, Adonai Yevarech et Amo V'Shalom. Continue as we welcome the Sabbath bride on page 23. We'll do page 23 and then we'll skip over to page 25. So we'll do the first 3 verses and then the last 3 verses. Karina, what do you want to do? Okay, you start. 1, 2.
Likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lehadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lehadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lehadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zahor v'dibor echad, Hishmi'anu el hamyahad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem tiferet v'liti lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat
Lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor ha'meracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshava tehila
Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela.
Mikdash melech ir melucha, kumitzei mitoch apecha, rav lashem ve'et mekamacha, vehu yachamod alayichem la.
Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela.
Top of 25. V'hayu shisa shosai, v'rachagu mevalai, yasis alai Elohai, kitos katan al kalala.
Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela.
Yaminu smol tiperotzi, ve'et Adonai taritzi, ayarish vein partzi, v'nismecha v'nagila
Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela.
We rise and turn toward the door. Boi v'shalom, ateret v'ala, gam v'simcha, u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula. Boi hala,
Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lahadodi, likat likat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela.
Turn the Psalm for Shabbat on page 27. Tov, Tov,
Tov lechodot, Tov lechodot l'Adonai.
You go.
Ulezamer,
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 Ulezamer l'Shem ha'elyon.
Tov, Tov,
Tov,
Tov,
Tov lechodot, Tov lechodot l'Adonai. Ulezamer,
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 Ulezamer l'Shem ha'elyon.
להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי אסור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינור.
Tov,
טוב,
Tov,
טוב,
Tov
להודות,
lechodot,
טוב להודות לאדוני,
Ulezamer,
ולזמר,
Ulezamer,
ולזמר,
Ulezamer l'Shem ha'elyon. Tov,
טוב,
Tov,
טוב,
Tov lehodot, Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulezamer,
ולזמר,
Ulezamer,
ולזמר,
Ulezamer l'Shem ha'elyon.
On the next page, on page 28, at the red triangle, Tzaddik Katamar. Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, Ke'erez Balvanon Yizke Shetulim, Shetulim Be'emet Adonai, B'chatzrot Eloheinu Yavrihu. And we turn in our prayer book to our Mari portion of our service, which begins on page 39a. We rise for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, page 39a. Baruch Adonai Hamara Le'olam Ha'ed. Seated. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma potech she'arim u'v'nam sheni'itim, u'machlif hezmanim esederach chavim b'mishmatim barakir kirtzono, borei yom v'layla golel mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or. Umavir yom u'mevir layla, umavdir ben yom u'ben layla, Adonai tzivot shemo, El Chai v'kayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Amari Baravim. Thank you to my helpers. Donovan's still helping, I think, before he loses all his energy. Is it starting to wane? Oh, no, you're good? All right. Okay. Okay. And we'll see Karina again. Thank you, Karina. Beautiful, beautiful job. We'll continue on page 40. Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah mitzvot Hukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shokveinu v'komeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'vorei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem kayenu be'orek yameinu be'orek yameinu v'hem negei yomam v'layla yomam v'layla v'vadecha d'simemenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לעול דך והיו לתותבות בעיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Continue praying silently, page 42, page 43. אנוכי מצווך יום אמרתם אותם ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור דבר בני ישראל אלוהים אדוני אלוהיכם אמת אמת באמונה כל זאת וקיים עלינו כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואין זולתו ואנחנו ישראל עמו. We affirm the truth that he is our God, that there is no other, and that we are his people Israel. המעביר בניו בן גיסם סוף את רודפיהם ואת עוניהם בתומות בה וראו בניו גבורתו שבהו הודו לשמו. Page 44. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכנו שירה ושמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדע בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע לבני משה זה עליינו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיר חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גיא ישראל. On page 45, as we ask God to provide a shelter of peace around us. On page Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu b'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu lechaim o shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Vehamidenu Malkeinu Lechaim Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shalomecha Vodenu Tzadova Milfanecha Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shalomecha Baruch Atah Adonai Haporei Sukat Shalom Aleim V'al Kol Amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim. On page 46, we rise Vishamru. Donovan, come on. Vishamru B'nai HaShabbat Lasso Et HaShabbat Ledorotam Beritolam Vishamru B'nai Et HaShabbat Lasso Et HaShabbat Ledorotam Beritolam Veini uvein B'nai Yisrael Oti leolam Oti leolam Vishamru B'nai Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasso Et HaShabbat Ledorotam Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai Et HaShamayim Ve'et ha'ar Vishamru B'nai Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasso Et HaShabbat Ledorotam Ubayom HaShvi Shabbat Vayinavash Shabbat Vayinavash Shabbat Vayinavash Vishamru B'nai Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasot Et HaShabbat Ledorotam Yitkada ve'yitkada Shemei Rabbah Ve'yamad yivrach kirutei Ve'yamli malchutei V'chayechon uvyomechon Uvchayedecho Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Ubizman kariv meru Amen Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach Le'olam u'lam me'amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach Yitba'ar v'tomam v'yanaseh V'yitada v'yitale v'yitalala Shemei Kudesha Leila min kobirchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damira me'ama v'meru Amen. Continue with the Amidah, which is recited silently, beginning on page 47. Say shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yase shalom, yase shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Page 53. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישמור ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון כהני שמיים וארץ, מגן אבות בדברו, בחיי מתים במאמרו, האל הגדול שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו, כי בם רצה להניח להם, כי בם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נבוא ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד בין הברכות. אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת בורק שביעי, ומניח בקדושה לעמי קדושני עונג, זכר למעשה בוראשי. Page 54, Kaddish Shalem. יתגלה וקדש שמי רבה, בימד יברק כל זה, ועמיק מלכות זה, וחיי כל נביא ומכון וחיי לכל בית ישראל, חלב הזמן קריב ומרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולם מעמיה, יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויבר וישמע וינשא, וידע וידלה וידלל, שמי קודשה. לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה מרם ימה במהרו, אמן. תקבל סוד כל דבר כל ישראל, קדם ובואו נביא שמעיה במהרו, אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמעיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל במהרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל במהרו, Amen. Oh, that's perfect.
So that's what it's like. Wow.
It feels good to be that.
It's the first time the mic actually makes it. So the question that I know all of you are asking, and that we're asking here at the synagogue as well, is if Purim is only, 5 weeks away?
Yes.
Can Passover be far behind? You're not asking that question? Wow. So this is one of my favorite periods of the year. It's that time leading up to Purim when you're not exactly sure how crazy things are supposed to get. And we are planning to make things as crazy as they possibly can be. We've instituted a new, old custom this year called the Hamantash and Latka debate, which, if you're not familiar with it, it's been going on for thousands of years. It started when the Maccabees and Mordechai and Esther started fighting with each other over which was more important, the Hamantash or the Latka. recognizing that neither of those foods were extant at that time, but we're projecting it back. But in all, or in very little seriousness, Purim is one of the craziest holidays. The rabbis didn't know what to do with Purim. So, and I'm going to, tonight, as we build up to Purim, you'll find out why the rabbis didn't know anything. We'll start with some basics today, which is, well, the first one is, of all the holidays, and I know this is going to sound like a joke, but of all the holidays, which holiday in our calendar is the most like Purim? And we don't get to the Kiddush until we answer it. Simchat Torah. You would think that it is Simchat Torah because everyone's drinking and everyone's doing that, but these are rabbis and they have no sense of humor. So, and you're right, next to Simchat Torah and Purim are the two thematic holidays that are the same. But the one that is most like, according to the rabbis, is Yom Kippur. And it's based on a pun, if you're familiar with Hebrew. Yom Kippurim is not only Yom Kippur, but it can also be translated as a day like Purim. So the rabbis then turn and say, well, why is Purim like Yom? Don't shoot the messenger. This is all in the Midrash. So the question is, why would they then turn and say Yom Kippur is like Purim? Well, in the book of Leviticus, there's this little known phrase or verse which goes like this. If a man dresses up like a woman, he is subject to the penalty of death. Has anyone ever been to Borough Park or any Haredi community over Purim? What are the men wearing? Dresses. How can they wear dresses and not be killed? And the answer is, Purim is a day of topsy-turvy. Everything is separate. It's the only day when everyone wears dress that would be considered inappropriate the rest of the year. Well, in the traditional communities, everyone wears kittles on Yom Kippur. Does anyone know what a kittel? A kittel is that white thing that the cantor and the rabbi usually wear. Does anyone know what a kittel actually is? It's a shroud. And it's you wear it because you're supposed, by the way, you wear it because you're supposed to be humble. You're supposed to be humbled in what you are doing, to know that everyone is mortal. That said, to get into less serious stuff, or more serious stuff, Purim is one of the 3 books of the Bible that the rabbis almost did not canonize. There are 3 books from the Tanakh, from the Hebrew Bible, that almost didn't get into the canon. The 3 books are Song of Songs, Ezekiel, and the Book of Esther. I don't know if, by the way, I would wait for the movie on most of these books. But has anyone ever read the Book of Ezekiel? You haven't missed anything. And I say that as a rabbi, you haven't missed anything, because one of the questions the rabbis were really asking about the Book of Ezekiel is, what was he smoking when he wrote it? It's full of visions that most of Jewish mysticism are based on those visions. The second book, the Song of Songs, is read on Passover, and translated, it's actually just an erotic love poem. And it's interpreted to be about the love between Israel and God. God help us if that's what it's all about. But Purim is actually an interesting reason why they didn't want to put it into the canon. There are several reasons. One is it's the only book in the Bible that doesn't talk about the land of Israel. It's not oriented towards the land of Israel. Second, it's very famous that God doesn't appear in the book. And third, it glorifies a marriage between a Gentile king and a Jewish queen, which is not something the rabbis would have been comfortable with, and yet they canonized it. But there's some other problems as well. Does anyone know what Esther's Hebrew name was? Because don't give them the answers? You know, Esther is not her Hebrew name. And it says in the text itself that she has a Hebrew name. Right. It is a Hebrew name now. Her Hebrew name is Hadassah. Okay. So Esther is her Persian name. That's an interesting. Do you know the high goddess of the Persian pantheon? Do you know what her name is? It was a horrible film with Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty. Ishtar. Esther is Ishtar. And Mordechai is Marduk, not the dog. Mordechai is named after the high god of the Persian pantheon. If I said Egyptian before, I didn't mean it's the Persian pantheon. I did? So the two, think about this, the two heroes of the Purim story are named after Persian gods. And by the way, Haman and his wife Zeresh are named after the Sumerian gods. That kind of tells a story in itself. But the real big issue is, why did Haman want to kill Mordechai and all the Jews? By the way, we're not going to celebrate Purim unless you get this right. Okay, you can help them. Right. Mordechai wouldn't bow down to him. Why wouldn't Mordechai bow down to him? Sorry? To a false god. How do we know, logically, that Haman did not consider himself God? So, if Haman... Yeah?
He did consider.
No, it doesn't say that. Well, don't you think Achashverosh would have been put out by this? The text is really pretty clear in this. Unless someone has written something.
Yes, you haven't
It's
seen
it-
the new edition?
So what did you put in it this year?
It's
I don't know.
evolving-
If it's a play about idolatry, I'm not so sure I can be part of it. So the problem is that in the book of Esther, Haman doesn't portray himself as God. He can't portray himself as God. And are we allowed to bow down to people who don't think they're God? And the answer is yes. Under other circumstances, I would be much more dramatic and I would ask someone to stand up and I would bow down to them. But it's late. So look at if you add all of this stuff with Purim, the rabbis didn't know what to do with Purim because it's such a load of contradictions. And Mordechai ultimately, and I hope you put this in play, Mordechai puts the entire Jewish community at risk of destruction because he doesn't want to bow down to another counselor. So out of his arrogance, the Jewish people are almost exterminated. And we'll talk more about this in the weeks to come. But we will continue now with Kiddush.
Rise and turn to page 55. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ava uvratzon inhilanu zikaron lemaseh boreshit כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר לציון מצרים. Kivanu B'charta V'otanu Kidashta Mikol Amim V'Shabbat Kodechecha B'Yahava U'Ratzon Hinkaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. We remain standing, page 56. Leinu l'shabeach hakol la'tekedu la'leoser breshit shelo asanu gigoyei haratzon velo samanu kimizbechot hadama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem ve'yoradenu kechol hamonam nukorim u'mishachavim u'modim l'nei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim ve'yoseh haaretz u'moshe mikado b'shamayim imanu shinatu zo hey meromim hu Eloheinu einon emevachenu ebetzlato kakatuv metorato v'yadatayom v'hashivota elevavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim ima ve'aretz mitachat einod ha'keneg v'lech Adonai Eloheinu me'irad b'terezecha kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai Bubis and Benabu. Okay. Yom hahu v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shema u'shema echad.
This week, we remember the yortzites of Rachel Benabu, Harriet Bubis, Dorothy Burka, Clara Goldberg Cohen, Janice Cooper, Barry Friedman, Larry Friedman, Rhoda Gorski, Terry Holsworth, Harriet Jacobs, Alexander Kimmel, Charlotte Levine, Rudy Ressler, Alice Sachs, Gary Seidelman, Helen Stetner, Charles Swartz, Gerald Thurer, and we mourn with the families of the recently departed Anita Lane, Renee Rubin, Jerome Euro, and Ronald Groves. Will all those who wish recite Kaddish with me on page 58? Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Bi'olma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'gala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mivarach leolam leomel maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'olma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You ready? Okay. So I'm going to sing away from you. Announcements. Registration's now open for the CBT golf tournament. We hope to see everyone on Monday, May 12th at Lakewood Country Club for an unforgettable day of fun and connection. Use the QR code, and you know how to do that. Oh. On the street where you live.
Oh, right, on the street where... On the street where...
Oh, you want the other one? Okay. Still Roger. It's not even Rodgers and
I know,
Hammerstein.
but it's so close.
Oh, and
right,
yet
anyway.
so far.
All right.
Tickets to Theater CBT's winter production of Oliver are on sale now. Visit the upcoming programs page on our website to purchase tickets. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, pick, talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, until you get it. Cheap, 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 cheap. Do I have to keep on going? You still don't know where it is. Can you help him? Music man.
Oh, Music Man, right. All right. Karen,
will do the rest of the
I'm not singing because I would like you all to start Shabbat very well. So I won't put you through that torture. I won't cook or sing for anyone.
Oh, that's not true.
You already did the golf tournament? I was so focused on trying to figure out which song you were singing. I wasn't paying it. All right, we're having a golf tournament yet again, May 12th. The rabbi probably already sung it, but I was trying to figure out what the song was this week, so I wasn't paying attention. We are celebrating 4 of our board members, our leaders, current leaders, bringing us into the next chapter. One of them is already here tonight, Andy, so thank you. And it's always a really great fun day, and it's a necessary fundraiser for the synagogue, so please join us. If you're not, it's fun, right? If you're not a golfer, if you don't want to take a sponsorship, you can also buy a ticket at a lesser price to come to the dinner and reception. So I hope to see everyone there. It will be at Lakewood. Tickets to the theater at CBT's winter production Oliver are now on sale. You can go on the website and purchase tickets after Shabbat. And there will be a door-to-door service next Friday night, February 17th. Don't miss it. It's a musical event. It's kindergarten through 4th grade. It's the religious school students. Cake pops will be served in honor of February birthdays. And I have to say, we had a report last night at the board meeting from our new religious school director. You're going to want to be at this door-to-door Shabbat. She's amazing. The kids are happy, the parents are happy, and the teachers are happy. So I'm sure it's going to be joyful. And the cantor will be happy to sing. Don't miss the Latka Hamantashen debate. The teams have been set. The rabbi is mediating, but headed up one team and coaching. Bruce Genderson, our past president, the current Board of Trustees chair, and the current regional president of AJC is heading up the other team. And that is a door-to-door team event. So from the high schoolers through probably Altacockers. Hope I'm not insulting anyone. Please come and join us on February 19th at 7 p.m. You can also use the QR code to get more information on that. And if your child is in college or graduate school, oh, this applies to me. If your child is in college or graduate school, please update us on their address so that we can send them their yearly Mishloach Manot for Purim. And a nice note from the rabbi and cantor. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Now I'm just going to do a dola, right? Yeah. I know. Or I was going to do people will say we're in the... Okay, all right. Well, let's do... Hey, Karina, you want to help me with the Don Olam? Yeah, come on, lady. Come on, you got to finish it out. We're on page 211. 211. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Le'eg Nasa,
Azayna Leshemonikat Adon Olam,
Pegachal Kiflo Zakol, Levado Yimlok Nora,
Adon Olam,
Vehu haya, vehu hovel, vehu yeh v'tifarat Adon Olam. Adon Olam.
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach.
B'terem kol, Esim
Yisimi
Mirav, Le'et Metzah, Le'hetzikol. Azayin Aleshikol Nikrat Adon Olam.
Vehu echad, ve'yein sheni, lehamshilo lehapira,
Adon Olam.
beli reshit, beli tachlit, velo ha'oz ve'hamisra.
Adon Olam. Adon Olam.
Adon Olam.
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach.
B'terem kol,
B'terem kol
Esim
Yisimi
Mirav,
Le'et Metzah,
Le'hetzikol. Azayin Aleshimon Nikrat Adon Olam.
Vehu elin, v'chai go'alin, v'tzur kevli v'yetzara Adon Olam. Vehu nisi, umanos li, menat kosi v'yom ekra Adon Olam.
Adon Olam.
Adon Olam.
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach.
B'terem kol,
B'terem kol
Esim
Yisimi
Mirav, Le'et Metzah, Le'hetzikol. Azayin Aleshimon Nikrat Adon Olam.
B'yado, avkin ruhim, v'yeti shan v'ya'ira Adon Olam. V'im ruhi, geviatin, Adon Ali v'lo ira Adon Mortam.
Adon Olam.
Adon Olam.
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach.
B'terem kol,
B'terem kol
Esim
Yisimi
Mirav, Le'et Metzah, Le'hetzikol. Azayin Aleshimon Nikrat Adon Olam.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Join us for Motzi in the